With the boats on site, Francesco's crew starts stacking and welding the support towers. They construct 4 towers, 2 for each side of the bridge. Roberto Pedone is in charge of the hydraulic jacks. He's testing the pistons, each one packed with a 150-ton lifting capacity. When it's go time, hydraulic fluid will raise the jack pistons. But they'll have to wait for ideal weather and water conditions to carry out their lift. Forces beyond their control. It's December. The seasonal wet weather's settled in for good, and river levels are now changing every day. The temporary road bridge is up and running. But the team's lost valuable time and must work in rain and cold. The scaffolding towers are in place for the overwater lift. These towers will fit under the bridge, where hydraulic jacks will adjust their height to support the piece. The team's brought in hydro engineer Simone Rossetti to advise on the river lifts. He knows a simple way to gauge when the full weight of the bridge piece rests on the towers.
The weight of piece is 120 tons, and we can measure how much tons we are loading looking at the meter. When the level of the meter will say that we are 17 centimeters down, it means that all the weight is over the bar.
The crew's ready for action, but Mother Nature has other plans. In Piacenza, the director of the Po River Interregional Agency, Massimo Valente, has received bad news. His teams detected a winter storm headed straight for the region. If his projections are correct, the river could rise 3 meters or more. For the next 24 hours, he'll be in constant contact with the team.
Okay.
Right on schedule, the predicted rain moves in. Today's downpour means almost certain flooding in the next 48 hours. By nightfall, the rain's let up, but the damage is done. Massimo delivers more bad news. The river will continue rising through the night.
The problem is a water of river in the night is a provision 1.5 meters more for tomorrow morning. And this situation no good.
Gianni and Francesco finally call it a night. The towers are up and ready. But for now, they'll have to stand down. The next morning, disaster. The work site lies submerged under 1.5 meters of water. And now the towers are too high to fit under the bridge. To execute their big lift over water, they'll have to wait for the river to sink back to a more manageable level. That could take up to 4 days. And means the exhausted crew will have to work through the first of Italy's December holidays. While they wait, the crew preps the last of the gear. A crane carries a hydraulic lift onto one of Mauro's smaller pontoons. the teams decided to cut away the lower steel beams. Demolition veteran Gideone Moretto takes the lead.
This is the point where it will be supported by the boat, and this is the point where the bridge will be lifted. One of the 4 points. The problem is trying to consolidate and doing it in a way that will work, so that it won't bend because it's very heavy.
And the more he cuts now, the faster they'll get it done on the day of the lift.
We've removed the first beam. There is still that one, and then there are still beams on the other side.
Throughout the day, the water slowly recedes. Francesco checks in with Massimo every hour. The news is good. The river could reach target level by early next morning. The team gears up for battle.
Stiamo collocando nel centro del fiume, a monte del ponte.
We're moving towards the center of the river to get into position to be ready for tomorrow. So, tomorrow morning, when the pontoon is in position, we'll try to lift the bridge.
Per cercare di alzare il ponte.
It's all systems go, but only if the river cooperates. It's 7:30 a.m. and the skies are clear.
Buongiorno, hi. Fantastic.
It's the most anticipated day of the job.
Yeah. Ok.
Se andiamo su tutti sarà.
First, the team needs to check the water level to determine if the support towers will fit under the bridge.
Adesso siamo sul 61.
No, sei quasi sul 70.
Che cazzo dici?
The level is exactly right, but only just.
Theoretically, we have a 1 centimeter margin.
They've got a 1 centimeter margin of error, so the towers will fit, but barely. And there's no time to spare.
The level of water is now is ideal, and in 2 hours will be or too less or too much high. And so we have only this chance to do it.
With more rain on the way, it's now or hold off for better weather. So the team's going for it.
Let's go.
With Gianni and Francesco directing from the barge and Gideone from the hydraulic lift, Mauro moves his pontoons under the bridge.
Vai. Oh, fermoli.
It's a perfect fit. Gideone starts the final cutting.
In just another minute, we'll cut through the bridge.
Finito.
Finito, ok, staccato.
Now, the 120-ton piece of bridge rests on the towers, and Mauro's barge is holding the weight. It's a triumphant moment for the crew.
For now, we're done. The piece is down, the worst of the danger is over.
Battling high waters and a rapid current, the barge slowly floats its heavy package toward shore.
Penso che è stato fatto un buon lavoro. I ragazzi si sono
They did a great job. The guys were brave, and we can see the results with our very own eyes. Now we can go home and celebrate.
Andiamo a casa tutti a festeggiare.
After several hours, the floating bridge piece makes it to shore. Tomorrow, it'll take Italy's biggest crane to lift it to land. But this breakdown's not over. The heaviest piece still remains. To lift it, the teams come up with a radical plan. They'll slide it off the river.